participating faculty members of the affiliated colleges of Biju Patnaik University of Technology. I, Dr. Shivkumar Mishra, welcome you all to this faculty development program on faculty interactive session on industry expectation. Friends, as you all know that a major thrust area in the National Educational Policy NEP 2020 is the industry academia partnership or interaction. And all the universities and institutions around India have already geared up to work in this direction. We at BPUT, under the dynamic leadership of our Vice Chancellor, Professor Amir Rath, have taken several initiatives in this regard. I'm happy to tell you that today's FDP is one such initiative in this direction. That is, the objective of this is to shorten the gap between academia and industry. In fact, we have received overwhelming response to this FDP. More than 800 participants have registered, but we could only accommodate only 250 out of them. So this is as far as the response is concerned, we have a great response, and in future we would continue to conduct such FDPs. Let me introduce today's speaker. He is none other than Dr. Lavanam Amballa. Okay, I think give him the big hand for this. Has he joined? Yeah, okay. I welcome you, sir. And I have the privilege to introduce you with your small biography, brief biography of yours. Dr. Lavanam Amballa is the National Campus Head of Global Campus Hiring Wipro Limited. He has completed his PhD in 2022 on competency mapping to enhance employability skills of arts and science college students. He is known for strategic thinking, people management, planning and delivery, change management, and digitization of processes, with a distinctive approach that prioritizes mentorship, innovation, and talent development. Lavanam has not only transformed the careers of countless young professionals, but also has set a new standard for the industry. I think for today's FDP, we cannot have a better personality to address this particular faculty development program. So let's delve into Dr. Amballa's remarkable journey and the innovative strategies for nurturing emerging talent. Sir, I welcome you to this faculty development program. May I now request our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Amir Rath, to address the gathering. Sir.
Thank you, Shivkumar ji. My voice is audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Dr. Lavanam Amballa, National Campus Head of Global Campus Hiring Wipro Limited. This is a faculty development program. Welcome all the participants of Biju Patnaik University of Technology. When I'm saying Biju Patnaik University of Technology, faculty members of my own campus, as well as faculty members of all the affiliated colleges in the state of Odisha. We have not only invited the Biju Patnaik University of Technology, in this program we have invited all the faculty members from the state. You know, Biju Patnaik University of Technology always taking a leading steps. All the universities, it has come from Biju Patnaik University of Technology. In the past, they were all affiliated colleges of BPUT. The purpose of conducting such program is, first of all, we should have the close gap, the gap, the bridge the gap between industry and academia. Let us try to know what are the activities industry, what are the industry expectations from the affiliated colleges. The faculty members play a very vital role to groom the students in the different process of academics. Recently, we have conducted National Board of Accreditation program. The quality enhancement, I could see the enthusiasm among the faculty members. So I thought of conducting such programs. Definitely, I will request Dr. Lavanam to come to Bhubaneswar once to address all the faculty members. Maybe we will have a large, big place, and we can have conduct programs online. Instead of online, we can have a physical programs. I'm sure this program will help all the faculty members. In turn, it will help the students of Biju Patnaik University of Technology for making the students not only employable, to do much more than employability. Definitely, thank you very much. Once again, I thank Dr. Amballa for addressing the students, addressing the faculty members. He has kept the promise that he could come and address the gatherings. Thank you very much. Thank you all participants. Thank you for this program. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Uh, I think we are going in the right direction, as you have already said, sir. Sir, we'll try to fulfill all your dreams and we'll certainly, this particular program is going to bridge the gap between academy and industry. Thank you, sir. Now, I would like to request Dr. Lavanam to address. Sir, Dr. Lavanam.
Thank you. Thank you so much for allowing me to unmute. Thank you so much, Professor, for the introduction and respected Vice Chancellor, Professor Amir. Sir, actually, we had a discussion last time, and I must congratulate the university for taking this initiative and steps for interaction sessions with the industry professionals and as well as the faculty members who are the key stakeholders in this entire pedagogy and nurturing the next the future generation of the talent and in the quest of nation building. I must congratulate the placement team, central placement team of Biju Patnaik Technical University for taking this step and starting the uh, first session, and we're really pleased uh, to be part of this initiative. And talking about the organization which I'm coming from, Wipro, uh, has been contributing in faculty development and largely investing in uplifting the standard of education. And all of you know that part of our CSR made mission 10x, talent next kind of programs. Professor Amir Rath himself has been a master trainer in mission 10x, and a great person who's been advocating in encouraging a lot of people to you know to learn the new techniques of teaching, and so that the student community gets the great benefit. And part of it, all of you know that mission 10x was initiated almost a decade ago, and then we trained more than 23,000 faculty members coming from engineering and various colleges. And through Talent Next, now we are engaging more than 150 colleges. And Professor Amir has requested mm, to extend this opportunity to all the colleges which are affiliated with Biju Patnaik, University of Technology. So part of that, we have first slot we have extended to all the government colleges, uh, and we are taking the nominations for the next batch of faculty development, where we will be training them for 2 weeks, and in turn, those faculties will be training 100 candidates each through the logins and content and framework that is provided by our organization. So that's about Wipro, that what we are doing for the colleges and the student community. And part of this session, I was asked to address all of you. And I'm a great fan of in-person kind of a session, but we also need to learn to leverage the technology through the virtual. But we will try our level best to make it more interactive. We are ready to take question and answers uh, once my talk is done, right? So, talking about industry expectation, I have sent it, one slide. Will that be, will you be able to put it across, or just I need to move ahead, or am I
Yes,
allowed
Sir,
to?
can you please? Yeah, please.
I will do it right away.
Sure. So, part of my study, okay, you know, enhancing employability skills among students. So I have studied thoroughly on the teaching learning frameworks and the trainings that we are giving. And is it sufficient for them to come and work in an organization? That was my study, part of my PhD. So in this entire study, what I have learned basically, that the last 3 months or 4 months of training that a lot of colleges give for the students to uh, make them employable is actually not very sufficient for them to cope up with the expectation that is industries coming with. So I have kept some of the few key points which are which are very important for people to have these competencies. So the first is ability to communicate effectively. So I was having a chat with some of the professors in last week in one of the forum. So humorously, I put across, but they all appreciated about the point that I made. We're talking about the chat GPTs and generative AIs and leveraging AI. So, so what I have told humorously is this: these all days we were preparing our students to how to answer the questions. But in this era, we need to prepare our students how to ask questions in an effective way and in a accurate way, so that um, they will be able to extract the information the way it is expected. Because knowledge is already there, that we're talking about, we're leveraging AI. Definitely, you know so there is an individual, already an intelligent person next to us, and the way you ask, the answer will be different. The way I ask, answer will be different. So when we are leveraging AI kind of a platforms, uh, we should be accurate, and we should know how to extract the information. Then 80% of a job will be easy. Then second, the self-learning ability is one more important. They should be able to learn quickly, and they should have flair for computing, irrespective of the domain they are coming from. Because every industry is going through digitalization, automation, and we expect every student to have a flair for computing. And it's not only computing, the technology that is going to disrupt their particular domain. They need to keep their eyes and ears open towards it. And finally, in their solution, how logic they are going to apply. Okay, these are the keys elements for people to inculcate and practice, so that they will be able to not only being employable, and they will be deployable to the project, so that they can pick the ball and run, and they will be able to help the business with their solutioning, right? So these are the things which I wanted to tell you, but I'll also give you certain examples that are these skills can be taught in some placement training kind of an environment. No, these skills are definitely important for uh, people to throughout their journey, throughout their career, and in just 3 months or 4 months of training, it's not possible to nurture, because students come from different kind of segments, and different kind of thought process, different kind of learning abilities. Not everybody will be able to learn in the same pace, so that and other side, we may not be able to give the individual attention also, okay, in a classroom. So what we should be doing, we should leverage one of the greatest opportunity for us to make them to inculcate these qualities towards sustainable employability, sustainable deployability uh, throughout their life. That we need to make them to practice from right from the beginning when they join the our engineering or non-engineering. That 3 years or 4 years is good enough for us to encourage them, and practice these things, so that they stay relevant to the industry standard, they stay relevant with the technology that is growing and the technology that is changing every day. So for that, I have put across certain parameters and techniques that we can use in the classroom. So I would call it as uh, classroom culture. uh, so can you go to the next step? So if I talk about this classroom culture, as per my research, what I have done, these are all my individual thoughts and inputs. uh, while I have searched a lot of content in Google during my research, but I tried keeping it in a nutshell. In a classroom, there are the three key stakeholders: teacher and student, and curriculum. That means the syllabus that we are going to discuss. And today's environment, according to me, with the kind of interviews I have done with the faculties and uh, students, I see there are certain challenges currently which are not helping us to have a right classroom session. And classroom is one of the great opportunity for us to discuss, learn, and deliberate, and grow, right? So from the student point of view, some of them are saying that we lack the curiosity. Our faculty members are unable to create the curiosity about the subject. The other side, the low attention level among the students. As per the research says, that attention level in any kind of a lecture or any kind of a classroom is not more than 7.7 minutes. So then what are we doing for next 45 minutes? Okay, and what do we do for next 45 minutes? That means in 45 minutes classroom, as per the university defined uh, framework, we must spend 45 minutes in each session to deliver the content that is given for the entire semester. How do we align if they listen to us only for 8 to 10 minutes, and remaining 35 minutes, what are we going to do? Are we going to deliver it, and which is not reaching their minds? And what else we can do? So that's where we wanted to discuss here. Mm, one, definitely, uh, I'll come to you that how we can make it more simple in a classroom, so that we don't we can make the classroom more attractive, and we can make the classroom more colorful with the ideas and thoughts. So the another challenge is sometimes we are only responsible to deliver the content, but we are not looking at how much content has been absorbed and they understood. Then some of the challenges like delivering the content through virtually. If you look at, mm, we have so many distractions, right? Even now I'm getting a call on my mobile while I'm giving this session. But if I'm in a classroom and wherever we have an opportunity to interact with the people in person, that can give us effective results. However, even through virtual, some of the times, like we all experience the unprecedented conditions like COVID, where we all ensure that the content is delivered through virtual, and which the students were not prepared, even our faculties are not prepared. But today we have mastered, and the technology and the tools that are in place for us to deliver the content through virtual and even in a more efficient way. And but still there are a lot of faculty members and students are still struggling to adapt to this virtual kind of a learning, and the changes in the syllabus and expectation, because the curriculums are not uh, framed such a way that the industry is expecting. However, I'm not asking that we should keep on changing the curriculum every year, which is not possible. For an academia, definitely there should be a visibility of 4 to 5 years so that they can keep changing the syllabus. But in a classroom, while we looking at the industry relevant syllabus, but we need to look at uh, some of the basics, like are we emphasizing on logic building, are we emphasizing on uh, certain personality development, are we emphasizing on um, the application of the concepts that has been taught during the classroom. So these are very important. Another challenge is the content is available in large large content is available in variety of forms and shapes and colorful methods outside through different platforms, right? So then when this content is available outside in that kind of a way, are we equipped with similar kind of a ability to deliver the content as on par with the content outside available, right? Because all these days we the teachers always been the source of information and knowledge. Today, we also need to wear multiple hats while we are responsible for teaching, but we also need to wear multiple hats like being a co learner, being an enabler, being a facilitator, right? So, these are some of the key challenges that every classroom, that students and curriculum and teachers are coming with. But we have opportunities that overcome and ensure that we make the classroom more colorful and more interactive and more productive. How it can be, so please go to the next slide. Yeah, no, the previous slide. So this is, no, previous slide. Yeah, that's it. Stay here. So here, what are the opportunities for us to engage better? So for teachers, it definitely we need to start leveraging the technologies, and we also need to start understanding the learning patterns of each student. Uh, because in a classroom where 50 to 60 students are there, and it is completely difficult for us to mm, you know uh, cover and understand each and every person, but having certain tools and techniques, leveraging certain tools and techniques available that right now in the market and developed by a lot of even open sources, we can leverage that we need to learn. And one more thing about storytelling. So if the retention levels are just 8 minutes in a classroom, and remaining 35 minutes to 30 minutes, for them, definitely a blur picture that is moving. Okay, somebody is talking, but it's not, they're not receptive, they are not able to understand. So is it worth delivering the content which we are sure that they are not paying attention, the large portion of the students? So definitely a storytelling technique will help, so that we can engage them even better, and whatever we are telling, and they will be able to listen with more interest, and make the classroom interactive through interactive teaching learning framework. I made it very simple, that what are all things we can do in a classroom, which I would be discussing in the next slide. I wanted to keep it very small, and we will focus more on question and answers, because as I am talking in a in-person classroom itself, if the attention levels are 8 to 10 minutes, imagine um, how the virtual classroom going to be. Okay, so I will stick to that. I will ensure that in next 5 you know 10 minutes, I will wind up my talk, and we will make it more in deliberate, we will make it more interactive. uh, Throughout this session we will take more questions from you. So in a classroom, what we are looking at, a teacher can be a co-learner, and there's nothing wrong, so that you will be able to learn from 10 different minds. Okay, 10 different perspective. So when we are open to learn, definitely it will be helpful, so that in the next classroom we will become better teacher, and we should be a facilitator and enabler too, and creating more scope and opportunities in your classroom for deliberations and reflections, because it's not about teaching them certain technology or certain language, program language, or anything. For me, a classroom gives a lot of other opens a lot of opportunities for a person to learn different competencies and skills that will help them throughout their life. And you know that some of the people who are joining IT, most of the times, whatever they're teaching, they're learning in last 4 years, not more than 10 to 15% they will be using in their real life. But they keep growing, because there are certain personality related, there are problem solving and ability to work in teams, identifying the problems and making an attempt to give a solution, and ability to and building their confidence level. So these are all the competencies that help people to grow sustainably, and while they are keeping their quest towards learning things, uh, you know, throughout their career, right? So that's where I would say that being an institution where students come here for 3 years or 4 years degree, definitely they are not coming here to learn just one technique or one language or one certification, because you're all institutions, not a finishing schools, right? So institutions must give the foundation and should emphasize on 360-degree learning. So in order to do that, how do we make classroom more interactive? I made it very simple, according to me. The next slide. Here I propose how we can make this classroom, attractive and effective with 4 boxes. These 4 boxes, the top left, you can talk about pre-classroom and where we can set the context. So if you know how to use a effective LMS, and I'm sure not every college is having a learning management system, though during the COVID, most of you people have adopted this. Um, but we have a lot of other forums. We have a WhatsApp groups, we have Google Teams groups, Microsoft Teams, and so a lot of other channels we have, emails we have. So, about a subject or about a class, if you're able to set a context with uh, with a preface that you are setting, maybe a content worth some 15 minutes of your your teaching on that day. So if you are able to do that, and if you do a preparation, just like the way I came here, I prepared almost for 1 hour to put these things yesterday, right? So I prepared for this session, and um, then so you try to give that before the classroom to all your students, and you see that you will be able to create that curiosity among them. You maybe take one small video, or maybe uh, a movie clip, uh, or a PPT, or a picture, or a plain text, whatever it is, to set a context and give them some kind of an information that, hey, we are going to learn particular things in tomorrow's session. Go through these interesting stuff that are there whenever you have time. I'm sure 100% of the people may not be able to uh, everybody may not be able to do that, but there will be some set of people always will have will try to leverage and utilize this, and those will be very, and there will be the students who will be keen to learn. So by this you can also start understanding those who are you can segment them and see that who are the people are actually active in learning these things, and who are the people may require extra enablement for them to teach, right? Then during the classroom you can start with the context that you have set, and then the story you can carry out, and you can put humor in it. You can which is very important thing in a classroom, that if the classroom is very happy, and the learning is very happy event, people will learn that, remember that session for longer duration. In fact, today I have fortunate to come across one of the best professor from one of the elite institutions in the morning. And in that interaction, for 1 hour of interaction, and a lot of learnings are there. I'm very happy that was a humor, there was examples, there were reflections, there were probing, there were questions. So it's a blended, it's like it went like a, a planned uh, planned event, right? So we should ensure that in a classroom, that don't open the class completely for 20 45 minutes. I know that we all will have a pressure to complete that curriculum, that 130 or 160 hours of course within that semester, but we need to see how do we break it and ensure that the students are understanding maximum, most of the concept that we are teaching, then that 20 to 30% only gets received for them. And we also need to see that how much they are understanding than how much we're delivering. And we also need to ensure that key point is we need to encourage them to ask questions. And the third part in the classroom is reflection. It is one of the key things that where you open the session for deliberations. During the deliberations, there will be an attempt to answer certain questions. There will be an attempt to solve certain problems. There will be an attempt for people to come together to solve a problem. Or you may be giving that, I have told you, and there is almost a 30 minutes of the session. Next 15 to 20 minutes, I want all 50 people to become 5 different groups, and all of you come with whatever you understood, come with 10 different points. That itself will make the classroom more engaging, and you can go to each group and see that how, in what direction they're moving, and you can guide them. That's where you will have to wear a facilitator's hat. So that way students also will enjoy, and classroom will be more interactive. In this quest reflection, there will be people who will not only understand the concept, not only know how to implement the concept, but there will be a questioning, there will be an answer, there will be they will some people will be there to answer. People wants to collaborate, and people will be speaking where the communication skills will be improved, and people will be standing up and speaking in front of many people. The confidence level will be boosted. So these are the other elements also will be these are the salient features when you open the session within the classroom for reflections and deliberations. That is where the most of the learning will happen than so one side delivering, like one way of teaching. So we need to involve them into our teachings. And post classroom, where you need to create a scope for follow up through rehash, like maybe gamification, maybe quiz, or leaving the classroom with some kind of food for thought for the continuous learning. You can say that it is a wonderful session, and after this you can come back with your inputs, or I'm going to send a quiz. I wanted to see how many of you will answer it. With that, eventually when we practice, we will come to know that who are all the students may require extra hand and support for teaching them in a different way, who are all the people are quick in learning, and so that we can give them a different responsibilities, and or we can assign them for some of the peer based learning and all. So with that, I would like to stop here, and thank you all for listening to me, and I wanted to open this session for question and answers. Hope this four box method will help you to break your classroom, and by leveraging technology or whatever the sources. I'm sure you will be able to practice these simple four boxes to make your learning, teaching process more efficient, and create more scope for reflections and deliberations. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Lavanam. Uh, Now it's, as he said, that it's open for question and answers, and we have opened the question answer window. So all are requested to type, and I think that would be better, I think.
Yes.
Yeah. So, or we can take up some quick questions from the, yeah. You can pick up the raise, those who have raised their hands. We can pick up one by one. Is it? कर दो, ठीक है. So all are requested either to type their questions or they can speak up. We have unmuted everybody. Yeah. Please unmute everybody. So this is a request from our side that those who want to ask any question, only that person should, yeah, others should unmute their microphones, mute their microphones. Please, this is a request. Or you can type also in the, so that we can take up the questions one by one. Yeah.
So asking question is very difficult, sir.
Yeah. Yeah.
So my request is, please don't stop. Start filtering that whether it is a good question or not. So
Yeah, I
the
think
day
questions
we
have
the
taken
day
off.
we start filtering that, then our learning process will be stopped. So we should be
Okay,
a
sir. By that time, somebody asks you a question. There is a question from my side. Uh,
Asked how can we reduce the gap between industry and academia?
okay. So the right now, what with my interactions with the different HR and competency heads and business teams, the today's greatest biggest challenge is that when mm, the basic when we are recruiting some NGAs, we are looking at people to come with uh, the foundation, a strong foundation about the technology, and with the initiation of keeping the eyes and ears open towards the technology, okay, and trying to understand practicing new technology will help. One of the key things is that in our 8 semesters of program, we need to ensure that they do some projects. They should work on live projects, internships, and it is not necessary that they should be doing internships and projects only in person. They can take up a lot of open challenges and start taking it up virtually also they can do. So projects and internships and practice based learning will help staying relevant with the technology, right? So when they're picking up some projects, and they should start looking at which is the new technology that is going to help them to complete the project. So our faculty members also should be equipped and should be encouraging people to students to pick the projects which are aligned with the new technology so that they are industry ready, right? So we have a list of I'm not saying that all the colleges are doing, but I have seen certain colleges the same age old 15, 20 years back or 15 years old project lists are there, right? The same library management system and using sentimental analysis using Twitter data, home automation system. These are all very old ones, and for last 10 years I have been listening to these same projects. So we need to encourage students to come out with new challenges, and that for finding a challenge they really need not to come to you. Today we have problems at every place. They can take problems that can impact and help large society and community and the ecosystems, and they can come out and we can encourage them. We talk about home automation system, and they it's not just they need to do it in our lab. They can automate at their home also. How much it may take? It may take just 600 rupees to 700 rupees, maximum 1000 rupees, where they can go and do a automation in their home, and they can start writing new codes. It can be movement, or it can motion detection, or it can be voice based command. A lot of things they can do, and they can keep enhancing. So that way they will have a better story for themselves, so that we can call their industry can see a great potential in them, so that they can start they should be able to pick the ball and run. All they need to keep learning new technology, but if they are not establishing a story for themselves that I have done these 1 2 3 things, how somebody who's going to hire them will going to believe that they're capable of handling challenges that are going to come through my customers.
the next question is from Dr. Syama Prasad Mahanti. He says that the demand at industry keeps on changing from time to time. How to match the demands or requirements?
So can you please say that again? The demand from
Yeah, the demand the demand at industry keeps on changing from time to time. How to match the demands or requirements?
So,
I think he has made a point, because in academics we do not keep on changing so fast as the industry. So how to actually match between the two? That's his point, I think.
in a simple thing, that if you talk about engineering, then we first want a person who is an engineer, then the technology next. If somebody, that's what I'm talking about, the competencies here, then the languages and other skills. The competencies that must be practiced in terms of the logical ability. Okay, that they should be able to apply the logic in their solution. Then application knowledge, that whatever the fundamentals they have received in the engineering, they should be able to apply on the ground. And um, and they should be able to analyze this problem, and then giving the solution. And if you are strong in these aspects, I'm sure that you will be able to, that it's not that readily you should come and join. A lot of companies will be giving the training, but today the industry is struggling even after their training, and they're not able to deploy the resources because they lacks in the fundamentals. Okay, foundation is not strong. So first we need to nurture an engineer, then they can become a Java professional or .NET professional or design professional, or some UI UX or AR VR or data sciences or AI/ML. So the foundation need to be strong, then we will be able to, um, because the skill that they are learning today, tomorrow it will be definitely redundant. And when they join an IT organization or any organization, they may not work in the same language or same skills or same things that they have learned during the training throughout their life. Because every 2 years, every 3 years, the things are changing, and the person has to keep learning. And if they do not have the capability of learning things on their own and understanding and applying them, these are the things we need to be teaching while they're in the college, and creating enough environment so that way we can bridge the gap between industry and academia. Otherwise it will continue to be, there is a continue to be a gap between industry and academia, because we are not fixing the basics in the beginning.
Thank you. I think you got your answer. And what he's trying to tell us is that we should not bother about the changes. Rather, we should have a habit to uh, learn how to deal with the changes. If we have that habit, we can do all these things. Yeah, we can go to the next question. Classroom can be. It's from Jyoti Ranjan Sahu. Classroom can be more interactive, but major constraint is to complete the syllabus in time. How to find a middle path in between?
That's what we are actually, uh, so we are actually caught with this particular responsibility of delivering that 160 hours within a semester. So that's where we are all driven, okay, by the college management and the university. But other side, that we are doing genuinely, but it's not getting into people's mind. Then students are not able to grab it, because we need to spend enough time on the mm, interactions, which you have agreed with your question, that I can sense that we can make it interactive. But if we make them to interact, when we will be able to, uh, when you will be able to cover your syllabus that you are supposed to cover. So that's where universities and institutions should come forward in terms of giving a flexibility and enabling you with more technology. So in 45 minutes of the syllabus, um, if we're able to break that into that four box theory, that I'm saying that 15 minutes of your course is delivered through a different mode, and remaining things can be discussed during the classroom. And I'm sure that will help us. So for that, we need to know how to leverage a technology. We need to have a learning management system, and students also should be responsible enough to see that what my professor has posted, and so that I should be going and referring them before going to the classroom. The responsibility of an effective classroom comes from all the three parties. One is teacher and student, also the right curriculum that is aligned for them to learn. So that's where we should definitely work with the universities and institutions to see that um, the curation of the curriculum is very important, uh, and in order to create a great space for deliberations and discussion. I completely agree. It's a burden when we are only focusing towards um, how much you have delivered. But when we need to think how much we are able to make them, the students understand, and are they able to practically implement those learnings, whatever we have taught. So it has to be balanced and looked in that angle. Otherwise, it's a right question.
Okay, I think we should move to the next question. It's from Saurabh Das. According to you, what are the, I mean, he's posing a question to you. According to you, what are the minimum employability skills in a candidate?
What is the minimum employability skills means?
Skills.
The bare minimum.
Yeah, I would like, yeah, I would like to request
Without that, the
Saurabh.
person will never get a job.
Yes, yes, probably he means that. He meant that.
I made it very simple. That's what I'm saying. If you look at employability skill, they will talk about so many. So, according to me, uh, a good communication skill, effective communication skills will always gives a candidate an edge towards getting employable, because if you do not have a good communication skills, writing and reading and listening, and you will never be able to learn, you will never be able to apply, you will never be able to convey. So good communication skills is very key. It's communication means not just speaking. It is writing and listening and comprehending and then processing and again reflecting back. So these are very important, uh, things in the for a person. And the second one is, you should definitely willing to take up the challenge, and being an engineer. Uh, I'm sure most of you people are coming from engineering colleges. So being an engineer, the person should be ready to give a solution. And and today, in order to give the solution, there are a lot of options available. For that, you need to have an ability to see how you can bring the integrations in your solution, how you can leverage new tools and techniques that are there, so that you will be able to give faster and a better solution. So this is how we can have that. At least the two to three things that I have told you, definitely important, and they are the bare minimum.
Okay, I think the next question is from Mr. Suvendu Behra. How can we adapt our, okay, is it audible?
Yes, now it's audible.
Yeah,
Can you
yeah,
please repeat?
yeah, yeah. The question is from Mr. Suvendu Behra. How can we adapt our classroom delivery method to accommodate the range of student understanding and capabilities?
So it will, according to me, it is not. It will not be immediately possible without having a data or without spending certain time. I will give you my own example. So recently I have attended one training, and I could get only 30 or 40% uh, during the classroom, and remaining things I was not able to get it. So that was my range, and my capabilities is that when I have connected with, and I have my other another colleague Anurag is there, so he was my peer, and he was my teacher for that particular subject after the class. So I went to Anurag and I asked him that, I was not able to understand this. Have you understood? And he said, yes, I understood. Then can you teach me? And he was teaching me. Then I was able to get it. So there is nothing wrong with the teacher. But at that point of time, I was not able to get it in that kind of an environment. But when I went for peer learning, and I was able to understand. So sometimes that way, when you take such, if my the same thing I have communicated to my teacher, that's where if I'm in your class, I would have learned more during the reflections than your our one way method of teaching. So for that, we need to look at the data. So that's where you need to leave the classroom with some quiz and gamification. You need to start tracking who are all the people are actually in a classroom. You will always identify who are that 5 6 people who will raise the hand and always open to answer the question. There will be some 70% who will never raise their hands. So that means you already have a data of 30% and see that these are the people are the fast learner and quick learner and active learner. Then you start adopting new methods. How do I engage this 70% of the people? In that again we need to do. So for that we need to have a data and at least a 1 month's data, or you need to come with an intent of start mapping them that who is active, who is not active, and what way they are able to learn better. And that way we can frame it. I'm not sure whether I have um, able to answer your question, but if I am the teacher I would do the same.
Okay, I think you have got your answer, Mr. Suvendu Behra. We should go to the next question from Krishna Chaitanya Raisam. He asks that don't you think teachers also should update their knowledge according to the industry needs,
Of
apart
course.
from teaching curriculum? Then only we can suggest new research ideas to students. What is your view on this?
No,
I
I
think
am
he wants
completely
to
with
hear.
you. I am completely with you. If the teacher is not learning, that's where I have made a statement that teacher should be a learner and co-learner. But today, that the biggest problem in the classroom, that why people are not being attentive, because they already got exposed to the content in lot of information in a very colorful way from lot of different channels and sources they have. So if we are not able to create that curiosity, because we have limited our if our knowledge is limited to only particular that syllabus, and if we are not knowing that what's happening, what are the new techniques are coming, then that way we will not be able to inspire the students to learn from us. Your question is completely relevant for this topic. Unless a teacher is not learning and upgrading and updating themselves, not necessarily from going through the training, but when we openly trying to learn from the students also, that acceptance will help us learning from 10 different bright brains within our classroom itself, so that you are equipped with more knowledge for the next class, because we opened our gates to receive the information and open to learn from our students and colleagues and the channels that are available. So it's very much important, and we need to keep enough space for going through this. For that only, we are encouraging a lot of faculties to come forward, and we are definitely doing a project with BPT and under the leadership of Professor Amir Rath, and he has requested us, asking us to put some framework where they can nominate certain faculty members, so that we can teach them on the not only the pedagogy or logic building, we also will be teaching them on emerging technologies that are helpful for students to become employable.
Yeah, I think you got your answer in that, Mr. Chaitanya. So we should go to the next question. But before that, I would like to inform that in BPUT, in our curriculum, the present curriculum in the eighth semester is completely devoted for intensive. The students have the choice to go for an intensive for an entire semester, or they can also be doing. They'll be allowed to doing a major project in the institute. So in that way, we can have time for interaction. That particular semester, the final semester, the students are allowed. I think this is the practice almost all universities in the in India at least
So, but
right now.
Professor, I have a personally, it is my personal view. I have a slight, um, you know, disagreement in that approach because um, that they should be start doing the projects and everything from fifth and sixth semester, because that's what the recent my discussion with a lot of professors, they said that last semester will not help, uh, because a lot of the people will gain the confidence before they're going for employment. Today we're talking about employability also, not only just doing the completing their course as a BTech. Definitely, eighth semester they should leverage that to complete their project and get their degree. But fifth and sixth semesters are very key, so that they will be able to learn a lot of new technologies, and they can talk to certain industries, they can handle certain projects, and they can solve problems, becoming a group and team. These things are very important because most of the recruitment happens during the seventh semester.
That's
By
right.
the time they enter seventh semester, they should have a story for themselves. How they will have a great story, so that confidently they can go and put across saying that, hey, I have done one, two, three things. I have learned one, two, three things. I'm capable of doing these one, two, three things.
Right. Yeah, I agree. I also agree, and we have a provision, I think, in the present curriculum for BTech students, even after completing the second year and third year,
Yeah.
they have a gap of 1 month, during which they can also be doing this projects, live projects from industry, so they can join that.
There are
So
a
in
lot
short,
of projects, Professor, on the Smart India Hackathon, and these are all real-time challenges that have been collected and put. And even in Wipro, we have an open platform called Top Coder. Students, some of the bright students who know how to solve a problem, they will be able to, mm, uh, sign in and give solutions. They can earn money. So that is, I'm not talking about earning, but that will boost their confidence level, and
right.
exposure to the new technologies. Yeah,
Yeah.
we can move to the next
So
question.
next question is from Amulya Sahu. Describe a time when your workload was heavy and how you handled it.
Workload was heavy, and how I have handled. Uh,
Yes.
uh, Definitely, I will. There is a certain. I know I can empathize with your situation, that if your workload also heavy means what you should be doing. Mm, I will ask for help, and I will ask for help, and because every work is having a timeline. Alone, if I feel that I will measure it properly, and I will ask for help, that I cannot complete it. If you allow me to do for 1 year, I will do it. But you're asking me to complete in 3 months, but I'm damn sure that I will not be able to complete it. I will, rather than telling them in the end, I will measure that this is the portion I can do, this is the portion I may not be able to do. So by telling that to my management or my supervisor, my manager, well in advance, it helps to solve the problem, because managers are there to enable you, right? Managers are there to help you, guide you, and give a solution.
मैंने पूछ चुका
Yeah, I would do that.
हूँ. The next question is from Amit Tripathi. He says, though we try to engage the students in the classroom discussion, most of them do not respond. What can be done in such scenario? I think the answer to this question has already been asked, I mean, told by you, but still then, sir.
Yeah. See, this is the basic problem in a classroom, because in an ideal classroom, I'm sure that all of you teachers will agree, where students are not very attentive in a classroom, and they have a lot of distractions. There's nothing wrong with them, including us. We have distractions. Even now, I'm giving the session, but I have unconsciously my mind and my I wanted to see, look at my mobile, think that is there something has come up. Genuinely, I'm telling you. Similarly, you look at the pressure that they have, saying that they as soon they get up, they, all of us, not only they, there's nothing to blame only one segment of the people. All of us, we have enough distractions. That is the probably reason where we have that attention level below 8%. So we need to start looking at, sometimes I was telling, our jokes also same for last 10 years, and we don't read, we don't upgrade, and we don't encourage. So all of you know the techniques. You all know that how to handle a tough student in a classroom, right? What do we do? Suddenly we'll give a responsibility. Suddenly we make them, some people will listen by giving a recognition. Some people will listen by giving them right orientation. So we need to definitely give orientation. We can't leave it like that, saying that this generation is like that. Our students are like that. So then intent will go wrong within the classroom. Then we will be wasting a lot of time. Then if they are not listening to you more than 10 minutes, 15 minutes, stop teaching and start engaging them on deliberations and discussions. And that may create impact, and you're changing your style of teaching, so that they will start looking up to you, saying that this is a better classroom. In our classroom also, we have 5 periods, but always we used to like one or two subjects, remaining subjects we used to feel that we are, that is not part of my area of interest. Probably that teacher has not met your expectations, or teacher has not created that curiosity that is required for you to listen to the professor. So but changing these techniques will definitely help.
Yeah. Okay. So the next question we should go for is how AI can be used in teaching and learning process and meet the industry expectations. It's a question from N. Panda.
Okay, fine. So AI definitely can help. Today, if you look at the Chat GPT, so I don't know how many of you learned about Chat GPT. The better, I suggest you all learn the Chat GPT before our students come out with their content and submit, and where we are overwhelmed with their techniques, right? Definitely this AI can be plugged in our teaching, in terms of beautifying our content better and making the presentations more attractive, and coming with some good images. That even presentations can be made in 8 seconds, right? So we should leverage that. If they are already seeing a different picture and they are still stick on to our board and not making our content more colorful and attractive, and definitely we will be backlogged. We will definitely not be able to make the classroom more attractive. So you presentation AI, there is one website is there where if you give the right prompt, and it gives you a presentation 8 slides in 8 seconds. So that is leveraging AI, right? So we need to keep upgrading ourselves along with the students and the generation, and the technology can come as a great support, and all of us not great curators, no great content developers. We have knowledge, we know how to what to teach, but sometimes we don't know that how to articulate that. We can know there's nothing wrong in leveraging AI and the new technology and getting the subject in that way and start delivering.
Right. So the next question is from Avinandan Kumar. The industry must open doors for interaction with students and with teachers as well as to groom students with technical relevance. These days, industries do prefer skilled and experienced candidates. How such setup can be facilitated?
Absolutely. In fact, that's where I was talking about when Professor was saying that we will do an internship during the eighth semester. But what we are seeing is there is a great opportunity if we are able to make them in collaboration with colleges and students and with industry that do engaging them during fifth and sixth semester and and then handhold them during their final semester can definitely uh, help them bringing up to the speed that industry is expecting. And so sometimes that's what I was also saying, that not only industry can help giving these projects for lakhs of students, and and students and the department should collaborate and see that they can start identifying the problems within their vicinity, or a lot of problems are there. And so we can take up those problems and start making that as a project, and doing also can be possible. It's not just only industry should be able to guide them. And we should encourage students to start taking a lot of virtual and open projects and start completing with the intent of solving a problem. But industry is also collaborating. A lot of companies, even in Wipro, is training 35,000 students during their sixth semester through a project-based learning framework, and we're teaching them, all the basic foundation technologies, starting from Java and .NET, and even some students, around 10,000 people, we are training on the emerging technologies in collaboration with NASCOM. So the same thing that our Vice Chancellor, Professor Amir sir, has asked us how we can start engaging. So we have told them, we have promised that we will start with the government colleges, and slowly we will start engaging other colleges also. While we have already engaged more than 15 colleges from Odisha, where we are trained more than some 40-50 faculties, and who are training around 5,000 students.
Okay, the next question is from Ravindra Naik. What he says, what is the syllabus required for current industry standard expectations?
So that's what I'm saying. Industry standard means, first we need to understand. I'm only talking from the IT point of view, but it's my personal view that mainly the concepts need to be understood better, and students should come out as an engineer first, and then they become a uh, we can fine tune them with a certification in their course, like somebody who's coming from um, CSIT, and they are more into design or anything, we can give them Adobe certification. And somebody who's coming with um, mm, maybe a mechanical student, so they can do certain courses in the end, or do some certification or open courses in that particular skill. But foundation is very important. So skill specific certifications also will help the students uh, to impress and showcase their potential to the industry, right? So because when they are meeting the industry person, they may be spending not more than half a day, or maybe 1 hour. Within this 1 hour, it is very difficult for them to assess. But if you have a good project, and if you have a certification, that can give you extra edge uh, in terms of getting employed.
Yeah. Okay, the next question is from Sri S.K. Bose. He asks a very interesting question. Despite good projects, good grades, and good expertise, sometimes the students from engineering colleges are not getting recruited because of school brands. How to stop this virtual discrimination?
School?
I think he meant to say that they are not getting recruited because of the school. They are, I mean, school brands. I don't know what does it mean by that. School brands, colleges or colleges.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm, yeah,
Colleges. Okay.
I'm Dr. Bose, sir. Yeah, what
yeah.
I
You can
yeah,
please tell.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. What I want to say is that suppose some student is studying some residential private colleges, and he has good grades, good projects, and he is competing with another guy from suppose let's say IIT or NIT or some branded school, and at the end of the day, that guy is getting recruited and this guy is not. So, but we have already tested that guy. He has fine grades, fine, sound knowledge in sound technical knowledge. He has good projects. So how to, I mean, how to stop this thing?
So Professor Mr. Bose, so
Yeah.
some companies, uh, based on the demand, they may be going to a specific colleges, subject, according to their policies. But large number of companies, including Wipro, we attract talent from across India and we open it for all the national level talent hunt kind of a projects. So, lot many large recruiters have adopted this model in order to attract right talent across India. So there are enough opportunities, but there will be few companies will have their own policies, so that based on the requirement, they may be missing that such potential students in some of the colleges. But there are enough open opportunities also. Maybe right now that industry is down and we do not have enough opportunities, but we have seen last 2 years back, uh, the industry was completely open irrespective of the college they are coming from, as long as they have a talent and able to make it.
Okay. The next question is from Asutosh Rath. What innovative methods can be employed for conducting student assessment and evaluations within a creative learning environment?
Definitely, it's definitely a project-based learning, and project-based assessment is very very effective model, because you have taught certain things and you are giving them an assignment and you are asking them to come back with a project. So that is a very effective way of observing how much they are able to understand, and immediately you can go back wherever they are going wrong, so that you fix the problem. Okay, it is not towards a score or clearing some exam. It should be like a jury, that it is up to you, but I need this. Everything need to be practice based, everything need to be outcome based, and that we need to do it in a early interventions than waiting for one semester. So they will work 10 days before the semester exam. That is the natural way of doing. The 10 days before the exam, we all will sit and study and get the marks and come out. So the intent should not be towards getting that marks. Intent should be towards understanding, and whether whatever been taught, how much I am able to um, implement it. The small periodical assessments for the subject being done will always help, so that you can immediately plug in at
Nahantiba.
that point of time.
Nahantiba.
Yeah.
The next question is from yeah. Is it? It is from Mr. Abhijit Mahanti, and the question is: Is it advisable to ask students to upgrade their skills from online learning platforms like Unacademy and others? Does the certificate courses are accepted by the recruiters?
It is subject to the company's demand, but any kind of an additional learning in their scope uh, or area of interest will always helps and build more authenticity of their learning. And definitely it will help, but I really cannot tell that which course will help to whom. It is subject to the person recruiting them. But if your college environment doesn't support, it is always good that you're equipping with global certification in that particular skill whichever you wanted to excel, or wherever you wanted to pursue your career opportunity. Certifications will definitely helps.
So in the process, we are actually skipping some of the questions which are already being answered. So moving ahead, uh, no, next question, please. Yeah. Yeah, it's a question from Abhijit Mishra. What should be a perfect strategy to create interest in numerical based subject? A student used to avoid long derivation of formula, uh, is providing this derivation as assignment creates large interest for students rather than solving all derivations in classroom itself. I think uh, he wants
Sure.
to know that whether it is advisable to do all these derivations in the class itself. Here I want to put a point. Actually, we have a concept called flip class. We have adopted in some of the institutions also doing that. That flip class means we are given a particular part of this as an assignment, or you can provide them with the materials, video lectures and all, so that the lengthy derivations can be avoided, and we should more work on the problem solving approach on the class itself. So this can be an approach. There is an established method called flip class in this area.
Maybe so. Maybe it is like if it is not like other subject which can be deliberated just like that, then you can move to flip classes. Otherwise, you can you know convert them into different groups and work in a group and come out, so that that way I think it should be done. But I'm not able to give a right answer.
Okay. Uh, Next question. Okay, it's a question from Ajay Sahu. Sir, he says, sir, when the ratio of teacher and students are not maintained, there is a heavy load to the professor in this case. How a professor can handle the class if he has to take three classes continuously?
So that is definitely the problem that needs to be discussed with your respective management, um, because it is subject to the a person, how much load the person can handle, and ability, right? Back to back, somebody is really feeling uh, as a load, then you may have to discuss and see that how much gap is required between one class to another class.
Right.
So if the free mind can only teach well, if your mind is not free and you are not very happy, you're not very excited about the class, definitely you will not be able to create that excitement.
Yeah. The next question is from Binita Das. She wants to have a point. Why a student's career mark is becoming a barrier in a job, though he or she is efficient and have excellent skills?
So marks, see, I know that there are good number of people, um, companies are missing uh, with people with good academic, good talent, but they're not able to. Uh, they they have talent, but they have not got enough marks in their academics. Uh, but in a volume hiring, if they really want to filter immediately, and where you have 10 people, but there are 10,000 application, and to test them for 10,000 people for 10 people requires a lot of operational activity. Then companies may look at, I don't want to meet 10,000 people, I want to meet only 20 people. Then if that challenge is given to you, you will, I'm sure, probably you will also go and say that, look at the people who have scored very well, let's meet that 20% of the people, 20 people who have scored very well in their academics, or they have done certain 1 2 3 parameters. But in certain hiring it is not applicable. In certain hiring it is applicable. Some people also agree with your thought process that scores doesn't matter, as long as the person is able to solve the problem is enough for us. A lot of companies have started looking in that kind of an angle. And certain companies, they have a limited positions, but they have so many applications coming, so they have to put certain uh, filtering, so they may follow the method.
The next question is from Sunita Panda. So in which semester will provide pre-placement training to our students?
No, which semester we should provide? If you are asking, then placement season is normally happens during the seventh semester. But this year we have not yet opened because uh, subject to the business demand gathering and all. So definitely 6 7 semester, what most of the companies conducts their pre-placement talks.
No, I think that is from the college side. That when the college would like to have this pre-placement training. What is the ideal
Pre-placement
time?
training, I'm saying that it is more than pre-placement training and all. Definitely, that is a fine tuning you may be doing. But for me, more than pre-placement training, I've been urging that let us see that, don't, let's not wait uh, the pre-placement training. Let us start preparing the students from the first year itself, so that they have enough time to scale up. Okay, so like that's the my that is been that is one of the things that I have told in my open statement, that we should start encouraging them to learn these things and practice from their day one, and start imbibing all these opportunities during the classroom, so that your placement training will be very easy. Otherwise you will have a great pressure, that training them, bringing them up to speed within 3 months, which we have ignored at least 6 to 7 semesters.
Okay, so I think the next question from Jinat Afroj is in the same line, so we would like to skip that. Going to the next, the question is from Dravesh Priyadarshi. Sir, he asks, Sir, how can we train MBA students for campus hiring in IT companies, mainly in non-IT roles?
MBA, definitely they will come for non-IT roles only. Mostly they will be working with finance, HR, and now some MBA people who comes as a tech experts in terms of business analysts, and like this. So MBA is definitely the model which works, which will work according to the way I have seen, which will give a good result, is engaging them on projects, continuous projects from the day one, so that they should start learning from the industry. So you should tag them for the industry problems, and making them to work with the industry people. And they should go out of their classroom, at least if you have a 40 60, like 40% teaching and 60% field work means you should push them for field work. Or in a semester, 3 months or 2 months, you should definitely push them for field work or a project, something. That's how MBAs are expected to come and start learning the business and start performing. That's where they will be positioned as a lead level and managers level, because they need to understand the ecosystem better.
Yeah, thank you, sir. I think we have come to the end of this session. So many participants have posed their questions, and you have answered them so beautifully with your experience. And now I would like to request every participant to switch on the video so that a screenshot can be taken to witness this great occasion organized by BPUT. Please, all are requested. Please switch on your videos. Okay. So, Paranjit, please take a screenshot.
Yeah, Lavanamji, I could
Thank
see
you.
lot of questions, and very well very well, nicely you have explained the entire. They handled the questions also very nicely. I could see a lot of, even
Thank
I
you,
could see there are many questions. They are still waiting to get the answer. Manoj, we can conduct such programs every month.
Yes, sir.
We are conducting one industry talk. This program also can be repeated, because large number of participants, I could get call also from different places that they were not able to join. It's a limited of 250.
Sir.
Yes, sir.
We can have more number also. Let us increase it to 1,000. Okay. And thank you very much, Lavanamji, that you could spare some time for us.
My pleasure,
Patna
sir.
University of Technology is always interested to minimize the gap between industry and academics. Whenever I talk about faculty members of the universities, I'm including the affiliated colleges of faculty members also by university faculty members. That way, I used to look at it. The enthusiastic and enthusiasm in asking questions, I could see that a lot of questions they posed in the chat box.
Yes, sir. Yes, it was very interactive, and I'm sure that in a short notice, after a discussion, you're able to rope in, and I'm sure that we should have this kind of sessions every month, with industry experts, so that they will also will be having their views, and their perceptions will be shared. So I congratulate for the first session, and I really enjoyed the conversation and the interaction with your faculty, and look forward to work with along your side and towards training our faculty, and making a difference.
Even this year, we are changing the syllabus and curriculum of Vijayapatna University of Technology. In the state, we are planning to have one curriculum and syllabus. We have couple of other two universities in the state. So we thought of having a uniform curriculum and syllabus. So accordingly, we are changing the syllabus of first year. Subsequently, second year, third year, fourth year syllabus will be changed. I seek your cooperations and I seek your involvement in this development of curriculum also. Subsequently, we will let you know regarding the dates and meetings and all that. I seek your cooperations and participation in updating the curriculum and syllabus of the university.
Sure, sir. I will definitely help you with our experts' involvement also. So anything for a benefit of students and faculty and universities.
And we will have one program physical, either in Bhubaneswar or in Rourkela also we can have it. I have a big auditorium of more than 1,000 seated, 1,200 seated auditorium. just recently,
Great, sir.
constructed, and we can have a program there. And I'm planning for a international conference, maybe in next year. One day will be totally industry participation or industry conclave, and second and third day will be an international conference that we are planning in the universities. And subsequently, we'll let you know, and let our affiliated college faculty members also know about it, and students also will get benefit out of the kind of conference we are planning to hold.
Great, sir. Wish you good luck. And thank you once again for having me here. And bye, everyone, and take care.
I
Thank you,
think
sir. Thank you.
with the kind permission of Honorable Vice Chancellor, I would like to thank the speaker of this faculty development program, Dr. Lavanam Amballa. Thanks so much, sir. Thank you so much for sparing your valuable time. And we had, in fact, all the faculty members who have joined this would have certainly benefited from this particular program. And I'm sure that this is not the this is just the beginning. In as Sir told, or Vice Chancellor told, we'll continue to organize such programs, and we'll try all our best to shorten the gap between the industry and academia. And I would also like to thank our Honorable Vice Chancellor, though he is not in our university, but he has joined and he has taken all the pain joining live and giving us the guidance to conduct. Yeah,
Any problem from
activated.
side?
Yes,
Uh,
it was.
Resumed.
yes.
Yeah. I thank all the participants who have joined online and actively participated in this very interactive session. Thank you all. And as I've already told, that this is just the beginning. Under the dynamic leadership of our Vice Chancellor, we will continue to touch new heights. This is just the beginning. Thank you all. Thank you.
Good luck, everyone.
We are closing. Huh?